One of the most unusual features, I think, of Ballymoney Secondary School is the fact that all the instruments have been made in the woodwork department. And I must say it's a tremendous tribute to the teachers and pupils that they've been able to turn out such a wide variety of instruments. And just to show you the versatility and skills, we formed them into a small little orchestra. But before they play, let's have a look at some of the instruments in detail, starting with the cello. It's a variation on the cello, but even the tuning pegs here have been actually turned on the lathe in the woodwork department. And the bow itself rather caught my eye because it's split cane, and here of course you have horsehair being used for the bow strings. Moving across to the harp, it's quite unique in as much that what makes the sound is actually fishing gear, fishing line, and certainly it's the first time I've seen fishing line actually being used for stringing an instrument, but quite unique there. The guitar itself, fairly straightforward, but I'm told a very good tone of it, and certainly we're getting a good sound out of it tonight. And this is quite unusual. The dulcimer, of course, is one of the oldest instruments in Ireland, and quite extinct nowadays, but this is a chordal dulcimer, and it's unusual in as much that it's been tuned to 4 chords, and it's actually, not that I do it very well, but it's done by just hammering it with this little beater, which again, of course, has been made in the school itself. Moving across to what looks just like the recorder, but within the school they call it just the pipe, and they've made pipes out of things like garden hose and all sorts of things, so quite ingenious again. Then we have the glockenspiel. They've been made out of little strips of aluminium that have been polished and cut to size, and actually underneath it's resting on draft excluder, so again a good example there of just how ingenious they are. Makes a great sound. And here we have one of the oldest instruments. In fact, it dates back to biblical times. It's called a psaltery. And here you have again that little bow that's been made out of split cane, and again the boys apparently tear around the countryside looking for the horsehair. And finally the xylophone, which is fairly straightforward, beautiful polished wood though, held together of course here by a few elastic bands, so quite ingenious all round. And having heard all about the instruments, I'm quite sure you'd like to actually listen to them being played, and together with their music teacher, Margaret Keary, they've formed a few very popular tunes. of you who saw the Fires of Friendship programme on television for the Queen's Silver Jubilee celebrations will, I'm quite sure, remember the combined choir singing this next song, The Lark in the Clear Air. And believe you me, on that night, it brought a tear to many an eye, particularly of Ulster exiles who saw the programme. This next number on recorders could almost be a plea from all our young people here this evening. It's simply entitled Lovely Peace. throughout the programme this evening, you've seen quite a bit of Annie McMullen, both playing instruments and singing. But this time she goes way out on her own with one of Percy French's songs, Gortna Mona. Well, the final song from the choir this evening is so well known that it really needs very little introduction from me, and it's one that I think the girls should know a lot about as well, because it really is their own home area, those famous green glens of Antrim.